beautiful lamp, beacon of lamplight in the night, glorious lamp, luminous
Pickles,
lamp,
do you hear something?
delightful
Check.
lamp, wonderful
Oh my goodness,
lamp.
what's that?
Oh no!
Oh wait, no, come back. So, who are you?
I'm the Mothman, of course.
Wait, what are you doing here?
I'm dropping off the last episode of the Three Mothsketeers.
Oh my goodness, so you're the one that's been leaving the newspaper clippings with all of the details for each episode.
Well, of course. Who did you think it was? Ted Cruz, the Zodiac Killer?
Well, I guess I had no idea, but now I know it's Mothman.
There you go.
Well, why don't you come join us for a good old pumpkin ale?
No, the paparazzi can't get me. I couldn't, I shouldn't, I wouldn't, Ooh, pumpkin ale, you say?
Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
So, I face planted into West Virginia from parts unknown 390 years ago. I have mostly been hanging around in that neck of the woods ever since. I invented West Virginia, actually, back during the Civil War. That's part of my backstory they don't tell you about. I've popped around here and there. I've spent some time in Chicago, but for the most part, I've hung around in the Ohio Valley. And that's where my most famous work, of course, comes in my profession as a bridge inspector. I was the one who was trying to warn people that that bridge was going to fall into the Ohio River. Not enough people listened to me, sadly enough.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that jumping up and down and waving your arms on top of a bridge would be more of a way to get people's attention.
Certainly you would.
But yeah, apart from that, I sort of fly around, I make spooky noises at night, I scare hippies, and I'm pretty much everybody's favorite cryptid.
So, Mr. Mothman, you say cryptid. What's a cryptid?
Well, Snickers, a cryptid is any character or creature that hasn't been recognized by the scientific community, but people say is out there somewhere. Things like Bigfoot, or the Loch Ness Monster, or Redditors who have well-adjusted personalities and healthy social lives.
Interesting. So yeah, speaking of real things, are the people in these Three Mothsketeers, stories, are they based on real people?
The characters of this work are completely fictional. Any and all resemblance to persons living or dead is entirely coincidental.
That was a bit weird. So you're a cryptid. Does that mean that you have special powers?
I have many special powers, being a Mothman after all. I have the ability to fly, the ability to teleport. I can see very well in the darkness. Honestly, I can't see very well in the daylight, because when there is light, there is lamp. Beautiful, luminous lamp. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked there. So we got flight, teleportation, night vision. I have an infinite pocket that I can pull just about anything out of. I can turn into Mothman-related creatures, such as moths, owls, a cat named Steve. I am riotously amusing. I can do low-level statistical analysis, and I can knit.
Interesting. These are all very fascinating. So, what inspired you then to write these Mothman stories?
Well, if I'm being honest, being a Mothman can get a little lonely sometimes. And there was one day where I was just sort of curled up in my home in the hollow of an old oak tree, and I'd finished my Sudoku book, and I didn't really have anything to do. You can't really go hang out with people very regularly if you're a Mothman, We tend to stick out in a crowd, and if we do show up in public, the paparazzi will get us. So I decided that I would use my riotous comedic powers to amuse myself.
Well, in that case, who are these stories intended for?
Well, originally they were just intended for me, to be honest with you, as something to make me laugh. But then for some reason, people actually liked them. And it kind of snowballed from there. And I suppose we're at the point where I would say the intended audience is people who like to take the world just seriously enough, not too seriously. People who like to laugh at the world but see meaningful things in it as well.
I love that, Mr. Mothman. And thank you for writing these stories. And, I think our audience, you've hit the nail on the head. They're big fans. And for that reason, we're going to compile all of those into one issue. And we're working on that now. It's going to be published and people will love it. And we are just so thankful for you coming and spending this time with us.
Wonderful. Cheers to you, Snickers.
Cheers.
Beautiful lamp. Beacon of lamplight in the night. Glorious lamp. Luminous
Pickles, do you
lamp.
hear something?
Delightful
Let me check.